Well, we've been hearing a lot of rumors about Marvel potentially canceling products, and now Rhodey himself, Don Cheadle, has given a pretty hilarious response to a question about Armor Wars. Has this project actually been canceled, or did Don Cheadle just give us a clue within a clue on the Today Show? Well, let's be real, we haven't had any official updates on Armor Wars since Marvel Studios announced the project was being developed back in 2022 and had been upgraded from a series to a movie. Now, recent rumors claim the studio has yet to make, quote, final decisions on this movie as well as Blade, suggesting some major changes to the Marvel slate could be headed our way to readjust for Doomsday taking over for Kang Dynasty. Now, as far as we know, Don Cheadle is still in the MCU and will continue to play War Machine. Heck, he might even be upgraded to Iron Man himself. But earlier today, he actually appeared on the Today Show and was asked about the project, and his response was, well, kind of telling. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Anything you can tell us about Armor Wars, the next Marvel?
What's Armor Wars?
Oh, come on.
Listen, it's the line, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you, and I just met you guys. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Now, I have to say, this really came across as a joke, and if you remember correctly, he is an absolute master at not revealing things to the press. Way back when Mark Ruffalo pulled back the curtain on Infinity War, Cheadle was literally the first person to respond. And given his response here, and the suggestion that he would have to take out everybody in the studio if he talked, well, it definitely tells me that there is something to talk about. If there was nothing to talk about or the project had been quietly shelved, honestly, I don't think we would have seen this enthusiasm or jokes out of Cheadle. Now, he is an actor and knows how to play the crowd properly, and we always want to keep that in mind anytime a movie star is being interviewed by the press. Faking people out is what they do for a living. And honestly, as excited as Cheadle probably is for Armor Wars, following up the disappointment that was Secret Invasion has probably dampened the plans over at Marvel Studios for the character because the whole thing was so ill-received. Now, earlier this year, Cheadle talked a little bit about the series, saying that he saw it as an opportunity to explore the life of James Rhodes, including his personal life, his relationships, and trajectory as far as being War Machine, and becoming a bigger part of the Marvel mythos. Now, as far as the upcoming film goes, beyond that, we don't have any other details. But Cheadle's response here is fairly telling, and does at least make me think this project is absolutely still on the table. Now, if you know the original Secret Wars, you know that that event did not feature Tony Stark, and actually in the original comic at least, it was Don Cheadle who was transported to Battleworld and joined the rest of the Marvel heroes to determine who was better, good or evil. Honestly, in the comics, typically, War Machine is somewhat of a secondary character, but with no Tony Stark in the MCU, and there clearly being some leakage of Iron Man technology, all the pieces for this story are on the table, and I really don't see how Marvel moves away from addressing it. Now, whether this means a full-on Armor Wars series, a special presentation, or something in between, we still really can't tell. But Marvel did say this was going to be a movie, and until it's canceled, I think we need to count on that moving forward exactly how they announced it. We're going to keep a close eye on Don Cheadle's Armor Wars, as well as the potential return of other Armored Avengers. I think this film is probably a little overdue and would work better with Iron Man, but I totally see Rhodey's personal commitment to Tony Stark and retrieval of that technology, well, makes a lot of sense, especially if you were asleep and a Skrull kinda took over your world. But how this all works out, we're going to have to wait and see.